What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. So, Rocksteady a few days ago tweeted, finally, and revealed officially, sort of, that their next game is not going to be a Batman Arkham game. It is going to be a Suicide Squad game. There have been some rumors for a little while. A domain was found called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.com, and we've kind of known for a while that WB Games, or WB Montreal I should say, is working on the next Batman game, rumored to be called Batman Gotham Knights. So DC Fandome is coming up in just 10 days on August 22nd, and I am absolutely positive we're going to know exactly what's going on from everybody involved, and I can't wait. I loved Batman Arkham Asylum, I loved Arkham City, and I loved Arkham Knight, you know, aside from some of the Batmobile stuff, but I mean, I had the Batman PS4 Pro, you know, so I'm really excited about this. The Batman Arkhamverse and Rocksteady in general are what made me a bigger Batman fan, because I've never really been a big Batman fan, so I really want to see what we're going to do with the Suicide Squad. I think it's cool and in a different type of thing that we really haven't seen before. And I'm here for it, you know. A lot of people want a Superman game. I don't. I want some other characters. Superman is, I don't know. We've had lots of games where you can fly around and do all that kind of stuff. Let's focus on some different characters, and the Suicide Squad can do just that. The thing about the Suicide Squad Task Force X, if you will, is there's a possibility that we are going to be playing as many different characters, or have the choice to play as many different characters. We don't really know many details, but I'm going to assume that we're going to go on missions and maybe there's co-op, maybe there's multiplayer. I don't know. I'm pulling things out of the air. Literally have no sources on this. But I was thinking about it, and who are the characters that have been in the Suicide Squad that I'd like to play as? So went ahead, put together a top 10 list because they're a lot of fun. And these are, for better or worse, the top 10 characters I want to play as in this new Suicide Squad. Now, keep in mind, the Suicide Squad, there are some people that have been in it a lot, and there are some people that have been in it for one mission. And for the most part, I didn't consider any heroes that have been in the Suicide Squad. I'm double checking. I mean, traditional heroes, I guess. Like, you know, I saw Hawkman was in the Suicide Squad for like one mission once. And I'm not going to consider him because he's Justice League, you know, like he's also one of my favorite DC characters, but I digress. So let's go ahead and start off at number 10. At number 10, we have Killer Frost. You know, we've seen Killer Frost in The Flash. We saw her in Lego DC Supervillains, and we've seen her in other Lego Batman games before. But to use her here would be pretty awesome. You know, she'd give you these frost powers and all that kind of thing. And I just think she'd be a very interesting character to play. Whichever version of her you pick. So number 10 was Killer Frost. Number 9, I have King Shark, because who wouldn't want to play as a gigantic shark? So it's really that straightforward. King Shark is my pick. He might be a little bit bigger than a lot of these other characters, but I just think he's pretty cool, and I'd love to play with him. So there you go, number 9, King Shark. At number 8, we have a character that's been in most versions of the Suicide Squad, and that is Bronze Tiger. And I think he'd be a really cool melee character, and I kind of feel like any Suicide Squad game really needs to include him in some form or fashion. He's just one of those characters that's been in many, many variations of the squad, and I think he's pretty cool, you know? The original Spawn, was it Michael Jai White? Played him in Arrow, and you know, somebody kind of taken on that kind of look and roll would be pretty cool. So that is my number 8. At number 7, we have Poison Ivy. Now, I don't think she's been in many times on the squad, but I just think she'd be very interesting to play. A very different dynamic with some the way that she could use her plant powers and stuff like that, and you know, her aura and whatever it may be. I just feel like she'd be a really interesting character to play with, and it's pretty straightforward. Plus, I mean, it's Poison Ivy, one of the most iconic Batman villains ever. Of course, I would love to actually play as her instead of just playing against her. So there you go, at number 7, Poison Ivy. At number 6, we have Enchantress, and everything that I could to leave her off this list because I'm not super interested by her, especially the way she was portrayed in the Suicide Squad movie, but it's hard not to include her. She's been in a lot of different variations of it. I just think that, having a magic wielding character would be really cool. Magic powers are obviously, just a very different feel and look than some of these more melee class characters and, gun characters and stuff like that. So I wanted something unique, and she's been in the squad for a long time, so had to get her in here. Number 6, Enchantress. At number 5, we have Katana. And Katana, obviously, another character that was in the Suicide Squad movie. You could probably argue she's a hero, more so than everybody else. But I feel like she belongs in the Suicide Squad, and she's been in many different versions of it in the comics. So, it really made a lot of sense. Plus, very unique type of character, even though my number 1 is probably going to play a lot like she would. I love the fact, I think I just played so much Ghost of Tsushima that I just need those swords. I'm just so used to it. So I really feel like she'd be a pretty cool character. So I had to put her on my list at number 5. At number 4, Black Manta. Let me just tell you, getting that Black Manta skin in Fortnite has really just made me feel a lot different about Black Manta. They did an amazing job with him in Aquaman, the movie. So I would love to get him in real action in a more realistic based game. His skin in Fortnite is one of my favorites, and I think I'm just on a high from that I just really, really want him. I want to be able to play as him. I don't know that he's been in the Suicide Squad a lot, but I know he's been in pretty recently in the last 10 years, so he counts. Black Manta. Number 3, I think, is the character that has been in the most versions of the Suicide Squad, other than maybe Rick Flag, who I did leave off the list because he's boring. Maybe not like personality-wise, but I don't know. I didn't want Rick Flag. But anyway, number 3, Deadshot. And not the Will Smith Deadshot, although, Will Smith did a great job as Deadshot, and I liked it. Just the more traditional, I don't even care which Deadshot, just Deadshot, Deadshot looks awesome. He's a very unique Batman villain, and he's been in the Suicide Squad a ton. Virtually every version of the Suicide Squad, I feel like Deadshot's been there. And he's got some really cool powers. He's a marksman, got those wrist gauntlet, pistols or whatever you want to call them. He's got to be in the game. Like, you can't have a Suicide Squad and not have Deadshot. So that's why I've got him at number 3, because, 1 and 2 are just a little bit more interesting to me. That brings us to number 2, Harley Quinn. Now, there may be some people that groan, that don't want more Harley Quinn invading everything. But Harley Quinn is awesome, and it's kind of like Fortnite again. I love her skin in Fortnite, and I just think that it'd be really cool to play as her in this game. Give her some roller skates, let her traverse that way. That would be really cool. I just feel like she'd be a really unique character to play. I know Fortnite kind of, gives you that if you have her skin. But I just think, especially with her being so involved with both Suicide Squad movies, having her own movie, I think they got to work her in here some way. And plus, putting her on the cover is going to sell video games. There's no two ways around it. So being able to play as Harley Quinn, definitely high up there on my list at number 2. And then at number 1, if you know anything about me, you should have seen this coming. I don't even think he was in the squad for more than like one book or so, but Deathstroke. Deathstroke is probably one of my top 5 favorite DC Comics characters, and the boss battle you have with him in Batman Origins almost made me quit the game. Like, it was so hard, and maybe for you it wasn't, but I don't know. I'm terrible, I guess. But man, that was such an epic battle, and to be able to play as Deathstroke is like a dream come true. Like, he's got to be in this game. I hope he's in this game. I mean, give him his whole own video game if you have to, but Deathstroke, I think a lot of people are going to be really excited if he's on the cover, if he's playable. So let's see what happens. That is my choice for number 1, who I would want to play as the most in a Suicide Squad game. I feel like at least 5 of those characters are going to happen. I feel like Deadshot has to be. I feel like Harley Quinn has to be. Those two I think are stone cold locks, you know. I think we could see Enchantress maybe. Bronze Tiger I think is pretty maybe-ish. But I think Harley Quinn and Deadshot for sure, so I guess that's 2. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe. I really don't know. I don't know anything about the game. We're looking forward to seeing it in 10 days at DC Fandome. Who do you want to see? I teased it on my Discord, and I disappointed somebody by saying Rick Flag would not be on the list. Look, good actor, everything's cool. I don't have a problem with Rick Flag as a character, but he's boring when you look at these other people. He's just a plain G.I. Joe, whereas, you've got Black Manta, who's an action figure, I guess G.I. Joes are action figures too. I'm going to shut up now. Who do you want to play as in Suicide Squad? What are you excited for? And DC Fandome, August 22nd for 24 hours. Really looking forward to seeing what we're going to get. All right, we'll see you.